Namaste, my name is Yuvraj Borade, roll number BT20EC018. This video is a part of an evaluation for the Embedded Systems course instructed by Ankit Burane and Amit Agarwal, followed by the explanation and implementation of the following task. The task was to implement an ATM using ESP32. We used Google Spreadsheet to store our data and a Telegram bot to interact with the user. So here we have our code for the ATM. So first we included all the necessary libraries. Then we initialized the network credentials so that the ESP can be connected to the internet. Third is the bot token. So we obtain this bot token from the bot father bot, which is used to create bot on Telegram, and we can use this token to access our bot. So whenever we access our bot, we need to send our commands with this token so that the bot can identify that it's from a authenticated user. Then it's the chat. Then we have the chat ID. So whenever the bot sends us a message, it requires this chat ID. Then is the Wi-Fi secure client. We initialize the Wi-Fi secure client, and then we initialize our Telegram bot with our bot token and the client. Next, we initialize these two variables called bot request delay and last time bot ran. The bot request delay is basically the frequency by which the bot will check for new messages. So it is 1000 millisecond here. So the bot will check for new messages every 10 seconds. Then we initialized all the global variables that we will be requiring throughout our program. Then we have a function called handle new messages. So this function is used to handle all the messages that we receive on the Telegram. So whenever a message is sent on Telegram, it is passed through this function, and if this message is something significant like this start message, then it will initialize the task that is supposed to perform after receiving that message. So first we have this command called start. So start initializes the ATM, and we receive a welcome message from the ATM. So here on this Telegram interface, if I type start, so we get a start message was sent on the Telegram, and we receive a welcome window from the Telegram, and this welcome window has three other messages now. So we get the option to log in the new user and close. So if I choose login, so it will ask me to enter a username. So let's enter a username. So suppose I enter a username Zebra. So first it will look for the username Zebra. So it's an invalid username. It is like this because we don't have a user whose name is Zebra in our spreadsheet. So only the users that are there in this spreadsheet can be allowed to log in. Now it is an invalid username. So now let's enter an authentic username. Let's say orange. Let's log in again. So now we are asked to enter a username again. Then I will enter this time orange. So orange is an authentic username that is allowed. So yes, the username exists, and now we get to enter the password. So let's see what's the password. So the password here is flame. So I will press enter password. Now it will take the input as password, and now if I enter a wrong password, suppose I enter water, so this is the wrong password. So it found the password and the password is incorrect. It is obviously the incorrect password. So now it's asking me to re-enter the password. I'll again enter a password, and this time I'll enter the correct password, which is flame. Yeah, so the password is correct. And now we have successfully logged into our user's account, and now we get these four options, like these four tasks that we can perform. So first we can debit or we can withdraw cash from our account. Second, we can credit or deposit some cash in our account. Third, we can check our bank balance, and fourth is that we can transfer money to another user. So so uh, like all this is connected to a backend, which is performed here in this script in Google script. So here, whenever we enter a command in Telegram bot, the function here sends an URL or a URL request to the Google script, which in turn fetches the data that was requested from the URL. So we have written various functions here. So for an example, if I take login function here, so whenever we enter a login, so a request is sent to the script to fetch the username, to confirm if the username is there in the sheet. So if the username is there in the sheet, it will fetch the row number of that user. So for example, if my user was orange, so it will check the list for orange, and if orange is found in the list, it will grab its row number. So if we get the row number of orange, we know that there are only 3 columns A, B and C, and we can get all the values related to orange, like its password and balance, bank balance, from this row. So B2 will get the password, and on C2 we'll get the balance. So that's how we can get all the data related to one user, and then we can perform all the other tasks like getting account balance. So once we have the user, we know that the account balance is in column C, and we know the row number of the user, which we obtained from here. So when we enter the command account balance, we get the balance of the user. So now our user is orange. So if I enter the command account balance, so I entered the command. Yeah, so orange has a current account balance of 14,300, which we got, which was fetched from here, and yeah, on this sheet also it's the same. So it fetched it from the row. So we know that balance is at C, and the orange was on second row. So C2 will give the account balance. All other codes run on the similar idea. So we have one for fetching data, one for debiting the amount, one for crediting the account, and so on. So we connect it with all these URLs. Now if I debit the account, yeah, it's asking me the amount that I want to withdraw. So let's say I want to withdraw 2000. Yeah, so it's debited 2000 rupees in the orange's account. Yeah, successfully debited 2000 from your account, and then the current balance is 12,300. So we can see that it's also been updated here. 2000 have been deducted from the balance, and we also have separate sheets of each user which keeps the log of all the transactions. So when I open the transaction log of Orange, here we can see all the transactions that Orange has done. So this was the most recent one, 2000 debited. Now let's try credit. So when I credit the account, we will be depositing some amount in Orange's balance. So it's asking me the amount that I want to deposit. So let's say I want to deposit 5,000. Yeah, so 5,000 have been credited and the current balance is 17,300. Yeah, so it's again added to the log, and it's also been updated on the main page. So next is, if we want to transfer some money from one account to another, we can select fund transfer. So when I select fund transfer, it will ask me for selecting an account which I want to transfer my money to. So it's asking for receiver name. Also here, if we enter a wrong username that does not exist in the list, it will simply put invalid user, like it did for the username. So if I did, let's suppose I enter ABC, this user does not exist in the spreadsheet. Yeah, so no such user. Then we have to try again. This time I'll enter a proper user. So let's enter black. So I'll enter black. Yeah, so now it's asking me to transfer the amount. So I select transfer amount here, and I want to transfer 1000. So 1000 will be debited from Orange's account and will be credited to Black's account. Yeah, so it's been debited and credited. So when I see here, Orange's account has been debited of 1000 and Black's will be added 1000. Here, as we can see, it's done. So that was fund transfer. Yeah, and we also received a confirmation that successfully transferred 1000 to Black's current account. Now we can also add new users to the list. So now we used close to close the transaction and exit from the account. So now we can start again, and this time we will create a new user. So when I select a new user, new one will be created. So enter a username. So when I enter, let's say I enter a user who already exists. So let's say I enter green. Green already exists. As we can see here, green already exists. So it will throw an error saying that green already exists. So the username already exists, we have to enter another name. So I'll enter another name, let's say brown. So brown does not exist. Okay, I need to put new user again. Yeah, so this time I'll enter brown. Yeah, so now it's asking us to enter a password for our new account. So let's say it's asking to enter a new account. So let's say the new password will be a brownie. So new password will be brownie for the user. Yeah, so the account has been created. Yeah, we can see that it's been added here, and it's initialized with an initial balance of 15,000. Also, a new spreadsheet is made with the name brown, and this also has a starting balance of 15,000. So that's how all these codes work. We have defined them in if different if statements, and they work. They do all their task accordingly. Then for fund transfer, we debit and credit two different users at the same time. Also, if the amount that is to be transferred or the amount that is to be debited is more than the balance of the account holder, then it throws an error and says that it's insufficient balance and enter the amount again. So this is the setup where we initialize the Wi-Fi, and this is the loop which keeps running, and here the get updates and new messages commands keep running forever and check for new messages. So that was it. This was the ATM that I made for the embedded systems evaluation. Thank you.